What's up, everybody? I'm Maverick Morocco, here again with another simulation self-talk. So, today's topic is a little bit controversial, but I think it needs to be said. I was taking a shower, enjoying my day, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got emotionally dysregulated upon a discovery. We're not going to get too deep into it, but a discovery in my apartment that was somewhat upsetting and confusing or whatever. And as I do when I get upset, I tend to rant. Like, it's just something about me. That's just something that I do. I don't know. I have to verbally get it out how I feel. After I had calmed down, I realized the depth or the importance of like how I really feel underneath a lot of we'll just say underneath the surface of a lot of stuff, like how I genuinely really feel. Anyway, I wanted to get on here today and say that, in the age of information, there's a lot of capability of observation. One of the things that I like about myself is, like, as spiritual as I am, I love science too. So I just think sometimes that I am just peculiar enough, or my mind is open enough to where I can talk about some of these things or these perceptions without getting emotionally drained or feeling threatened by someone else being like, however they feel. And that's more to the point of what I'm saying, where, like, I get that sense of confidence from, like, I believe what I believe. You ain't got to believe what I believe. I believe what I believe. The person going through their Job season, which nowadays could be an act of God, genuinely serendipitous, or it could be theatrical staging because the internet is so powerful. It just really is. And people and connections and networks and communication and all of that shit can be so clandestine and so influential that, like I said, all types of people, all types of groups, at the very least, are acknowledging that their behavior and their capabilities parallels with what we have traditionally called God. That being said, I think that there needs to be a little bit of pushback to say that, like, even if you do pull the strings in somebody else's life, your desire to pull the strings says more about your relationship with God than however they may move to the strings that you choose to pull. Being the individual to be able to actually say something of value that would reach on another level, to actually offer an opinion that isn't contrarian just for the sake of an endless perpetual debate of, like, bullshit, but actually is meaningful. You know what I'm saying? It might be aggravating when you used to watching people bicker all the time in a feud that you're fueling, but they don't know it because you're in that privileged position of being a puppeteer. So you never have to deal with criticism. So you never have to deal with somebody actually waking up to the fact to be able to say, you know what if it's not me versus you? What if there's an exterior influence that's pissing off both of us? What are we even arguing for? If I'm going to be on the internet, I'm going to talk about real shit. And I just feel like, these are real things that are happening that I think could actually make the world a better place. Like having conversations of, like, how is technology relating to how we perceive God? How is that molding the minds of people who very well may have earned their positions? I'm not trying to dog out people who may work for certain organizations that are designed to protect our security or our, well-being as a nation, especially when other nations have other shit going on. And that's just naturally going to happen. As a veteran, I get it. I really do. But I do, as somebody who went to grad school for mental health, man, the idea of like so many people suffering with shit that we actually know exists does make me fully aware and fully concerned of there being a demographic of people who are outside of anything that's written in a book, because their industry, the nature of work that they're in, is so ahead of everything else that is historically, foundationally, educationally, the box or the compartmentalization of what we know to be mental health or, psychology or even philosophy. There's a whole demographic of people who live in a world, who work in a world, who create things that are at the very least, it's outside of everything that we've ever known. It's outside of everything that we've ever known. So I don't say this from like a hater. I say it like, how good could it be for your mental health to have all of that access and all of that psychological suggestion, and yet you're the one in a box because no one ever gives you a real opinion about anything. Most people don't see you, but I see you. And I don't even really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to shit on you or nothing. I'm just saying like everything got some give and take to it. So don't be so disillusioned in observing my life that you think that like your life don't have that all that power don't come with no opportunity costs, because it certainly does. Like somebody actually being real with you and you taking it as an offense or being an op, with like my last video where it's like, am I an op or am I challenging your personal bias? And maybe your personal bias is never challenged because you're behind a veil. You live behind a veil. You eat behind a veil. You work behind a veil. You don't even know what it's like to not have the veil. But something about me, my sense of perception is just like, sometimes I don't even understand it. I be perceiving shit. That's my simulation self-talk today. Be careful of the inclination of being so, oh my God, locked in on like seeing what somebody else is doing and watching what somebody else is doing and having an opinion about what somebody else is doing and feeling like they're the ones in the cage, where it might be you. It might be you because you're so unreachable. You spending all your time, I'm telling you, just like in Euphoria.
I was sitting at the edge of the stage watching Kitty dance. She tall but limber. And as she parted her pins like a little marionette, it's when it happened.
What happened?
My epiphany. I dedicated my life to pussy. Bought, sold, fucked, devoured every shape and size. But there I was, staring up at Kitty's slit. When it consumed me, this fear. I might run the club. Pussy still runs me. So what the fuck I've been doing all this time?
You've been building a business.
For what? For who?
For you. To be free.
Free?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just another slave with a little more money in my hand.
I think you just need to lay off the merchandise.
I think it's deeper than that.
Made your whole world, whatever this thing is that you give all your attention to. But just like everybody else, because shit do be existential, you got the same limitations as somebody else that got limited resources.